All right. We're live, lads. We're live. Slightly earlier than usual tonight or this week. Slightly earlier. Normally about 9 or so I do these streams on a Sunday. Now we're doing an early one tonight. We're doing an early one this evening. We're doing a 6 o'clock one this evening. Few things. Look at the title. Where has Deontay Wilder gone? That's a question I'm asking. It also says anything goes. Right? So anything goes for the next hour or so. There's no one topic. There's no one topic we need to discuss. It's all G. It's all G with what we talk about. Just give me 2 seconds there and make sure these settings are all right. There we go. Let me just check and see. Yo, that should be good now. That should be good now. I didn't mute the one. There's one I didn't mute. So big up. Yeah. I thought there'd be an echo. All right. It's good. It's all G. It's all G now. We got that sorted. I don't know why it was echoing like that. I thought it would be all right, but we all G. Yo, big up to Mark Unrivaled. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Big up, bro. Big up. You got the echo in the background. Yeah, man. What can you do? It's gone now, though. Hashtag Gman's Rocks. Big up to Joe Stunner. How's your Sunday going? It's going brilliant, mate. Going absolutely fucking brilliant. Made some videos for tomorrow. Have them on the channel now as unlisted, so I'll just list them in the morning. I'll be good to go. You get your daily fix of G. How are you keeping, my man? How are you keeping? Like I said, for those in the chat talking about Wilder, I want to know, I want to hear. He's been quiet. Do you all remember, right? When he came out after the whole Fury glove thing, he came out in the end of, what was it, October or November? He has not really said much since. Let's just have a quick nose on the Bomb Squad and let's see, has he been saying anything? Because I'm dying to know what he's been saying. So he literally, all right. So we talked about Fury on November 12th, and then since then he said sweet little. So it's been sweet little. What's the crack with this fight? Are we getting, because I'm surprised now he hasn't said anything, given the fact we're hearing about Fury Joshua more and more from Eddie Hearn. You would think that Deontay Wilder, if he knows he's getting that fight, you would think, just in my opinion, you'd think he'd be the one to come out. Because think of it like this, right? Do you remember when Tyson Fury, they were talking about him fighting Caballel, right? You remember that? When they were saying it was going to be Caballel, this, that, and the other. Well, Wilder was pretty quick to jump in and say, no, hang on a minute. Y'all got to fight me. Well, I ain't been hearing much since then. So he ain't said much since then. What's up, CG? Big up to you, man. Big up every time. What's up, everybody? Big up to Ra, hashtag Gman's Rocks. Big up to Rich, hashtag Gman's Rocks, of course, as we always do. You think Wilder is scared to death of Fury? Right. In terms of that comment there, right? Scared to death. I wouldn't say he's scared necessarily, but Deontay Wilder, in my opinion, right? And it just has to be an opinion. I don't think he wants a trilogy fight. I think he'd come back, right? But I think he'd come back against, some no hope or something like that, have a nice little easy, stay busy fight or something like that. And maybe if he fought say he fought the winner of Kalnaki versus Hellenius, the rematch. And then maybe he had an in-between fight then, against someone else, someone tall maybe even a Marius Wack or someone like that. I'd say after something like that, he'd be like, yeah, I'll fight Tyson Fury. And maybe his confidence will do him the world of good. But now, we're just over 10 months removed from their fight back in February last year, right? Nearly a year. I can't see him wanting that fight. I can't see him wanting to take that. I don't know. I just can't see it. I just can't see him taking that. Mark says it's all good. What do you think, man? What do you think about Wilder? Have you heard anything from him? Because you go on his Twitter, it's just one picture and that's it. Big up to Galaxy. What's up, Joe here? Without getting political, Whites and Trump's mentalities are pretty much the same. Both have their egos popped and are in total denial. They're clinging to conspiracy nonsense reality bites. I mean, Deontay Wilder and the conspiracy theories he comes out with, right? Like, I love a good conspiracy theory, all right? Some of them are bullshit in general in life. Like, I don't buy the whole flat earth thing and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes it's fun to have a little look at some conspiracies. But, like, the glove conspiracies and all that stuff, I mean, it's just funny. I just laugh when I see all that because it's just so ridiculous. I mean, you're essentially saying, right, that the Nevada State Athletic Commission, your corner, because your corner would have had to check it, all these would have had to check it, check the gloves, and they all gave it the tick to go ahead. And then because a few of your fans show footage of Fury's glove, a horsehair glove, from the first fight that happened in 2018, they feel like that's, sufficient enough to turn around and be like, yeah, that'll do. That'll do. We'll be able to talk about, conspiracies and glove things and all that. It's just crazy. It's just crazy the way it's gone. But what can you, man? That is Deontay Wilder's fan base in a nutshell. And Deontay Wilder himself, the man, is just, I don't know. I don't know how you describe him, bro. He's just an out there type of character, bro. He's just an out there type of guy. In terms of boxing, right? In terms of boxing up and coming, we're hearing from Eddie Hearn that he is trying to get some shows up and running. So once the end of January comes and we start to hopefully see in the UK and Ireland a bit of normality, we'll call it that. There's and actually some interesting news here, actually. And here's an interesting one, right? Some bit of news here just coming from Eddie Hearn. I'm just on Twitter here, lads, right? It says Eddie Hearn has confirmed that he is no longer working with Alexander Usyk, that he is now out of contract with Alexander Usyk, right? Unless the Anthony Joshua fight happens next. Right. So let me read this again. Let me just read this again, right? So it says Eddie Hearn has confirmed that Alexander Usyk is now out of contract at Matchroom unless the Anthony Joshua fight happens next. So I'm assuming if he signs to fight AJ, obviously it's dealt with by Eddie Hearn and all that stuff. Unless the Anthony Joshua fight happens next. So Matchroom's priority is AJ Fury. So that's making me kind of think now that we are seeing Usyk fight for a vacant title, because he might just decide to dig his heels in. If he's not in contract with Eddie Hearn anymore, does he really owe Eddie Hearn anything? And I'm not surprised, because think of it like this, right? He fought Bellew on a Matchroom contract. That was his first fight with Matchroom. He fought Witherspoon, and then he fought Chisora. So Eddie Hearn is normally a guy for 3 fights. So that makes sense to me. So Eddie Hearn and Usyk are no longer working. I'm telling you now, lads, right? I'll probably do a video on that and talk more about it tomorrow, because I still have some videos to make. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this live stream a bit earlier than I normally do. Yeah, I reckon that he is going to sign with Top Rank. I'm convinced because Bob Arum, WBO, all that's jazz, Usyk and Lomachenko. Although God knows what Lomachenko's relationship with Bob Arum is going to be like now after the Teofimo fight. But I'm reckoning that Alexander Usyk, he is going to be going straight to Bob Arum. That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking on that. Yo, you. He's still trying to wake up from the Fury fight, because I forgot to read your comment, bro. Yeah, he's still trying to come to grips with the Fury fight. Still not fully cognizant of what happened in that fight. As I've said several times, right? You ain't going to learn much if you go into a fight and think, right, I lost it. But I only lost it because the guy had, fake hand wraps, fake gloves. Referee was there. Referee was fake. Corner men sold me out. That's the only reason why I lost. So, realistically, I didn't lose. I didn't lose no fight. That's the only reason why I lost. It ain't going to end well, that. Ain't going to end well. That's an interesting one. So Eddie Hearn is no longer with, or what was the Usyk is no longer with Eddie Hearn. He's also said that he wants to get Povetkin versus White done in, what was it, March or April? Lads, give me 1 sec. I just want to knock the heating off.
Yeah, so he said sorry about that, by the way. So he said he's trying to get Povetkin and Dylan White done for March, potentially. Lads, I'd be amazed, right, if that fight gets done for March. I'd be amazed. I can't see Povetkin taking that fight. I just can't see him. And Graham Taylor, he's spawned there. He's probably waiting for crowds to be allowed back. It was nice getting the crowds in for the AJ fight, to be fair. We need the crowds back. We need them back soon. I reckon that's what Eddie Hearn is waiting to do. I reckon he's waiting to pull the gun. Because he'd make, think of the money he's losing now with having these fights behind closed doors. You know, even just charging fans, even having 1,000 fans in is something. See how the camera goes. Even just having, and I'm back in my old position, by the way. Christmas is officially over. So yeah, I reckon they're exactly the same. Eddie Hearn is just waiting for the crowds to come in. But who was it? Yeah, it was Fraser Steen says if he's not in contract with Eddie Hearn, who else can get him a fight in the next 6 months? Not sure that Usyk's good right now. I reckon Bob Arum. 100%. Like I've heard that for the last nearly 2 years now, that Bob Arum has been maybe a likely destination. Top rank of Bob Arum has been a likely destination for Usyk. So wouldn't shock me at all to see him sign with Bob Arum and Top Rank next. In fact, I actually thought he was with Bob Arum because he fought on 2 Top Rank shows in the past. One with Lomachenko. I think he fought. It wasn't the Lomachenko card. I think he fought on Lomachenko's undercard once when he fought Sosa, and that was when he fought Hunter, and then he fought Michunu on Hopkins Smith. Or was that no? It was definitely another Bob Arum undercard he fought on. Definitely, he fought on 2. So he's been fighting in the States before with Bob Arum, so I wouldn't be surprised if Usyk decides, let's go over there. Oh, yeah, lads. Potential fight of the year and KO of the year, Lovejoy versus Stavern. Can't wait for this one. Oh, boy. What the... do you know, did any of you see the video that Christopher Lovejoy uploaded where he was saying that he wants 10 grand off Don King or else this fight's not happening because his training camp is so expensive? I mean, Lovejoy, if ever there was a chancer, it's Christopher Lovejoy. I'm serious, lads. If ever there was a chancer, it's Christopher Lovejoy. This is a guy, right, who said, by his own admission, right, that he took the fight with Dave Allen on something like 10 days notice, right? 350 pounds, fat as a pig, no trainer, no training camp, wasn't doing any training, just going to the UK for the payday, right? So does that against Dave Allen, right? Now, he is, I'm sorry, I was reading the comment there, but I'll go, now he is allegedly, because God knows a Bob Arum and thing, now he's on about wanting money to fight Stavern, and he has notice. Just TZR Anonymous said, according to Char, the fight ain't happening now. Do you know what, right? I wouldn't even be surprised, to be honest with you, at this stage. It's Don King. It's the year 2021. Don King is like, yeah, how would you even describe Don King these days? He's washed up beyond belief. He hasn't put on a meaningful show in years. Like that show he put on in 2015 was wasn't even televised. It was in a casino. I wouldn't even like. I'd want to see it just for the humor point of view, just because, yeah, literally, as Joe says, Lovejoy versus Stavern rather sums up Don King promotions in the 21st century. That literally, we're watching this for just a laugh. It's just so funny. Like Lovejoy is such a chancer. His record is so padded. It's just so ridiculous, but you just can't help but laugh. Like there's just something so eerily amusing. There's just something so eerily amusing about Lovejoy. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. I'm not surprised with that. Char put a lengthy post on Instagram out. You can't blame him, but the real shame should be towards WBA. The WBA, right? Well, I'm going to look this up right here, right? Manuel Char's Instagram. Is it in English now? anonymous, or is it in a different language? Him versus Brian. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. All right. Let's read this little post here, right? I'm going to read this here, right? I have it here, right? What a mean, nasty game by Don King. Now, here we go, right? Research has shown. Before I do anything, I want to big up Shadq Boxing. I hope I'm saying the name right. Big up, appreciate the super chat. I'm actually very interested in the Brian versus Char fight. Mate, I'm going to break your bubble because I don't think this fight is going to happen. I'm literally, before you put the super chat in, I was about to read a post Manuel Char posted on Instagram, right? I'm going to read it now, right? This is what a mean and nasty game by Don King. Research has shown that the specific venue in Florida on January 29th was neither booked nor confirmed by Don King. The fight was announced in BoxRec, but the alleged venue has not been confirmed. You don't want to fight me. Don King tries to force me to sign with him. Oh, wow. Which I definitely won't do. Smart. I have a boxing promoter myself, Errol Seelan. We've already put our lawyers on all point. Don King won't get away with this no matter what happens. I'm 200% fit and ready. The title stays with us in Germany. I filled out all of WBA forms, adhered to the legal guidelines inside all the WBA's contracts several times. I also asked Don King Promotions contract under protest. I also signed the Don King promotional contract under protest. Or he says, well, actually, he says DKP, so it could mean that. The game with Don King has been going on for 2 years. We boxers are neither promoted nor organized. I would like to defend my title every 3 months. It's all up to Don King that I haven't been able to fight for the last 2 years. Allah is the greatest. He will give me power and passion. I will be ready for every challenge. And he's tagging Sky Sports, The Zone. He's tagging loads of people in there. All right. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that to me is looking ever more likely that we ain't getting Don King. We might get this card. But I appreciate the super chat, by the way, bro. Thank you so much for that, by the way, as well. Of course, every time. It's looking unlikely we're going to get that card, lads. It's looking unlikely that we're going to get that card. We might get Lovejoy again, though. I mean, Lovejoy again. We might get Lovejoy Stavern. Lovejoy again, though, and Lovejoy Stavern. Can you even spot the difference? Seriously, guys, when do you think crowds will return in America and the UK? Well, they're already allowed in certain states in America, right? They're allowed in certain states in America, right? I'm not 100% sure. Florida, Texas, I think Nebraska. Are allowed crowds. South Dakota. I'm not sure about the rest. Right? I'm not sure about the rest. Some states are allowed. As for the UK, I mean, Jesus. I've seen some fairly disgusting posts from police in the UK. They've been disgusting. So whatever that's going on there, I can't imagine we're going to see crowds anytime soon, to be honest with you. But ever the hopeful. I'm ever hopeful. But you hear, actually, I'm not going to talk about that, lad. But I do think there is light at the end of the tunnel. We'll leave it at that for Ireland and the UK. I'm in that 2020, right? You estimate full crowds in 2021. It'll take a year to get everyone vaccinated. Well, I won't be getting vaccinated. No, sir. That's not going near me. I don't think it'll be mandatory, personally, but that won't be going near me. So what I'm thinking of is, I'm reckoning that we're near the end. I reckon that we are near the end of this. It's just a case of when. It's just a case of when. That's just what I'm thinking. Ireland should be sooner, but there's never much over here anyway, to be honest with you. There's never much over here, like in terms of like shows and stuff like that. Like even to football games, like I wouldn't even attend. Well, I don't really watch football, to be honest with you. I watch it, but I wouldn't even go to games over here or anything like that. So yeah, Shumanov is on that card as well. Shumanov is on that card. That card was full of inactive fighters too. Let's say Dovney holding out his regular title defense hostage. Yeah, man. That those regular titles, I swear to God, I mean, why in God's name do we even have them? Seriously, though. But think of it like this. Like, Manuel Char, right, won that title 3 years ago. 3 flipping years ago. And he's not defended it once. Right? He's not defended it once. And he's still regular champion. Right? I mean, oh, sweet Jesus. And how people can say, like, oh, you won a regular title, you're world champion. I can't. It's like that lineal title where it just means nothing. So I gotta say it like that. Like, that regular title is just absolute muck. It really is. Oh yeah, CG is bang on there. I remember when Stavern said he was in good shape against Joyce. LOL. Yeah, he was saying that after he knocked out Joyce, he wanted AJ. Can you imagine? And he said he was in better shape than he was against Wilder. I mean, come on now. Come on now, lads. Stavern, to be fair, right? I went on his Instagram there the other day after the announcements. He actually doesn't look good, but looks better shape now than he did back then. I'll tell you that. He looks in better shape now than he did back then. He looked terrible. Wilder's crew and fan base blow so much smoke up Wilder's ass. He's burst. It's a shame, as he's fun to watch. Genuinely terrifying power. Yeah, bang on, Joe. I missed a load of your comments there, by the way. Yeah, like, Wilder is fun to watch. I love watching Deontay Wilder. He was fun back in the day. Like, you remember when he first won that title? I didn't mind him too much when he first won the title. I actually quite like watching him, and I still like watching him, but I actually didn't mind him at all. He seemed kind of, a bit all right. And then it's just, he's just gone crazy. His fans just blew so much smoke up his ass that it was just insanity. He just comes out with absolute garbage. Just no other word to describe it. Garbage he comes out with. And now he's just, I don't know. The lad, I mean, he doesn't make sense about things. Like, remember when Ruiz knocked out AJ and he was acting like he knocked him out? It's like crazy. Why does AJ Fury need to be in June? Both guys are in the gym now and ready to go. Why not April? Fighting the venue, CG, I reckon. I can't see it happen in the UK, to be honest with you. Just from what I'm thinking, I can't see it happen in the UK. I can't see it. It's probably going to be in Saudi or Singapore. One of my subscribers told me Singapore is still LG, so might be there, might be in Saudi, might be in Qatar, somewhere like that. Can't see it happen in the UK, though. Can't see it. Wilder's conspiracy theories might be the best coping mechanism for him. Yeah, yes and no. Like, I can see how it is. Like, it gives him, like, something to, kind of give himself a shoulder to cry on almost. But if you start, like, looking at them and thinking, this is great, this is how I'm going to do it, it's not a good look, because you're going to think that you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything wrong. Like, oh, I won this fight. Fuck, I'm the G. Fuck this guy. It was only because of this, only because of that. Might give him a cope mechanism, but the best thing, in my opinion, the best thing to do is to just draw a line in the sand and say, right, how do I stop that from happening again? Not, I didn't do nothing wrong, I'll do it again and expect the same results or different results. Like, come on. If AJ gives the belt and Usyk wins it, Hearn will want Usyk under contract to make it promotional easy, provided he beats AJ should they fight promotional chess. Yeah, I see where you're coming from there, Joe. To be fair, if Usyk did sign with Bob Arum, I do think he'd be okay, though, because they've done business before, so he might be okay. But yeah, he probably would try and sign Usyk back. There's been so much conflict with Usyk and Eddie Hearn. Not him necessarily, but the guy, the manager. I can't remember the guy's name. I always forget his manager's name. Is he German or whatever his name is? He's that real kind of square up, straight up guy. Clevis or something like that his name is. And he's always like, Eddie Hearn will say one thing and he's always like, oh no, well, we didn't say that. So there's always a bit of conflict there. Yes, there are loads of countries not under lockdown and allowing crowds in. There is Sweden, irrespective of what people might think, they're still fully opened. You look at, I think Latvia is fully opened. Because remember, was it Latvia where they had Burton versus Bolotnik? That was just like normal. So Latvia, I know Qatar, I know where else? Someone say Pakistan. I don't think Pakistan is, but I know countries kind of around there. There's loads of countries still open that didn't lock down. I know Florida is all right. They're cool. They're 100%. So there's loads of places that you can still go to in the world that aren't locked down. And it's annoying when you see videos of those countries, because you're just like, why the fuck won't they just do that over here? Like, look at Sweden, right? There's a video from January 3rd in a Westfield shopping center, and it's just like normal, and you're just like, come on, lads, why can't it's just like, come on, the fuck. Everyone stop being fucking so frightened of what? Bob Arum has called him everything from a pig to a dog. I'd imagine Usyk promotes his own fighters going forward and works at multiple promoters. He'll keep that Clevis guy, definitely. I reckon he'll keep that Clevis guy 100%. 100%. He's scared to lose a KO. I don't know. Manuel Cherry's been knocked out a few times now. KO loss traumatizes him. Well, he was knocked out badly by Breedis. So we'll have to wait and see. As the JC says, Stavern will knock Lovejoy out. Just ran 5 miles in 45 minutes. Looks in great shape. He doesn't look in that bad shape. He doesn't look in that bad a shape now. Stavern. Now, he doesn't look in good shape, but he doesn't look as bad as he did for the Joyce fight. Yo, big up, Dan. Every time. Anyone seeing the coronavirus patch looks, yeah, man. Man. I don't know. Just. And he said, New Zealand and Oz are open. Well, no, certain parts of Oz aren't. Certain parts of Oz are still being, you know what. But yeah, in response to Dan, I mean, like, what can you do, man? Just, what can you do? And, you know, it's just, did you hear what Neil Ferguson said about herd immunity, trying to build up herd immunity? This is the guy who said that if we don't lock down, if countries like Sweden don't lock down, they'll have 50,000 deaths. They didn't have anything close to that. Neil Ferguson, Imperial College. I mean, that Imperial College, I don't know how the hell he got those numbers. I remember actually someone saying how he got them, and it was ridiculous, like how he did it. But yeah. Dubai be perfect for AJ Fury. Yeah, I think Dubai are still fully opened. We Love Island jerseys. I don't know why Eddie Hearn hasn't done that. I really don't know why Eddie Hearn hasn't done that. Like, it just, I don't understand it. Like, I mean, he's done you see, like, what's the guy's name? Dana White. He done the Fight Island. I don't see why Eddie Hearn doesn't try something like that or take it on the road. You know, you could easily take these fighters on the road. Take him to, literally, you could take him to places like Latvia where they had that Bolotnik fight. I mean, they still had ring girls over there. Seriously, they still had ring girls over there. Tommy Hagler, big up. AJ Fury will go where the money is, Saudi Arabia or Vegas. I'm thinking Saudi, man. I'm thinking Saudi. 100% Saudi. The money they will get is just, the money they are throwing up for that is just crazy. It's just crazy, the money in there. Can't understand talks to Singapore. Box isn't popular over there. Yeah, it's not. I've never even put on the Singapore. It's weird, but look, we'll see. Yo, big up, mate. Harvinder pal. Yes, G-man, been waiting all week. I'm doing it early this week. 44 in the chat. Lads, if you could smash the like button on the way in, it'd be much appreciated. Big up to everyone in the chat, man. 44, 42 in the chat. Big up to all you guys. So I'm trying to get as many comments as I can. What we got here? Do you think fighters should go abroad as no guaranteed income in the UK and Ireland? Well, for the UK, yes. For Ireland, you should be abroad anyway. I don't think you should. I wouldn't advise anyone turning pro in the country of Ireland, because you're going to get absolutely nowhere. Like, literally, irrespective of 2020, you will get nowhere turning pro in Ireland. Like, you will literally, right? In a good year, you are lucky to get 3 fights in a year. In a very, very, very good year, you're lucky to have 3 fights in a year. Seriously. 100% you are lucky to get 3 fights in a year. Seriously, you're lucky to get 3 fights in a year. Yo, big up to Intangible every single time, man. Big up to you, man. Oh, George C, big up. No lockdown here in Norway. Poor country for boxing, though. Glad you escaped the UK. And Norway, I got to big them up because although they did lock down, right? Even I think it was the president or someone of that of Norway even said, in hindsight, we should never have had a lockdown in the first place. And of course, you shouldn't have had a lockdown in the first place. It was just, I mean, I'm not monetizing this stream. Anyone can go and check the National Office of Statistics, right, in the UK, and they will know that deaths from respiratory illnesses are about the exact. In fact, they were actually worse in 2018. You can go and check that. That's fact, by the way, than they are now. Just a fact. So, why in God's name all this has happened is just beyond me. And 2014, 2015 flu season, what was it, 30,000 excess deaths from flu? And that was before they had to reclass all the deaths. I mean, seriously. Come on now. And that doesn't take a lot of digging. It's straightforward. Straightforward. Yo, big up Letitia. Big up to G-Man. Yes, big up. Big up to DJ Channel. Hashtag King of Rip Jeans. I prefer G-Man's rocks, by the way, man. I prefer that. Big up to Alex. I think Alex is from Singapore. I think you left a comment on one of my videos saying that. And you were saying that there is literally no restrictions there. So big up for that, man. Big up for that, man. And yes, you're absolutely spot on with that. Bill Gates' father was in the head of eugenics. Terrible man, Bill Gates Sr. was. Absolute terrible man. Planned Parenthood was the name of it. I think that was the thing behind eugenics is what it was called. Planned Parenthood. Those who control the media control minds. But see, now I haven't watched the news in years and years and years and years. And whenever I just glance at it, it's just like, oh my God. I'd just be like, what the fuck? I'd be just like, what the fuck? Howdy, fellas. Big up to Billy. Big up to Dan. Matchroom Prob has UK commitments with boards. Do you know what? I actually didn't think of that. That's actually a good point. They may very well have UK commitments with boards. They may very well have commitments with the boards in the UK. They may very well. Because if you think about it like this, like Eddie Hearn, Sky as well, I think it could be more so Sky. Because maybe Sky have deals with the British Boxing Board of Control. Maybe they have, maybe for money reasons. Because you know Adam Smith, remember when Adam Smith was interviewed by Rob Tebert and he was like, oh, we'd love to do this, we'd love to do that. But, you know, we have all this, that, and the other. So I suspect it could be something like that. I suspect you might be right there. But to be fair, if you want to get these fights made, man, if you want to get these fights made, you got to take them abroad. I know how Char is still fighting. Well, I don't think he is now, judging by what he posted on Instagram. The guy has both. Really? What? Oh, and he got shot 4 times by a drive-through. Holy shit. I didn't even know that. Really? Holy shit, man. Well, I don't think he's going to be fighting now, man. But that might explain the failed drugs tests. You know, I'm sure he's having to take a lot of stuff to get through all that. I swear, Kendo was mandatory for Char for most of the time as Frez fought. The last time Kendo fought, right, was when? When was the last time he fought? He fought Chigayev in 2014. 2014 was when he fought Kendo, and he's not fought since then. Fast Frez. Pretty slow for fast. That guy. Big up the G-Man and the chat. Big up to that guy. Hope Callum Johnson gets a fight soon. He's such a good fighter. He is, man. He is. And that's something that annoys the hell out of me is that we're seeing guys like Callum Johnson not get fights because I think Callum Johnson is absolutely fantastic. I think he's very good. But he's not getting the rounds in. He's not active. When is the last time Callum Johnson fought, actually? I'm going to check it here. Shit. 1% battery. I need to charge this. When is the last time Callum Johnson fought? I'm going to check it here. Because it has to have been more than 18 months, I reckon. Give me a sec. I think his last fight was against Shawnee Monaghan. Wow. I didn't think it was that long. What? Is that the date or? Shit. I didn't realize it was this long. Last time he fought was a 3rd round stoppage win over Shawnee Monaghan. That was in March 2019. 2 years nearly. Shit. Before that, he fought Baturbia. Okay, so literally, right? Okay, so in 3 years, right, and it'll be 3 years come what March. In 3 years, Callum Johnson will have fought 8 rounds. Literally. He's had 3 fights. So in 3 years, Callum Johnson would have fought 8 rounds. That's not good going, man. And I rate Callum Johnson really, really highly. Big up to Tony Boswell. Man, appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. Much respect, Gmat, in the chat room. Smash the like button. Show your support for the hard work. Mate, I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for that, man. I really do. It means a lot, man. Big up, bro. Thank you for that. How does the AJ Fury gloves off go? Oh, how does the AJ Fury gloves off go? Oh, I reckon it might go better than you think. I reckon it'd be Fury trying to get a reaction out of AJ. And I reckon AJ would bite the bullet. I reckon it'd be Fury trying to get a reaction, coax a reaction out of him. I think Fury will try his best to get under AJ's skin. I think with AJ, you can get under his skin. You definitely can. And I think Fury will try and drag the mean AJ out. You know, this whole, stay humble, hashtag humbles, all that crap. I don't think we'll see much of that AJ if Fury really goes in on him. I think we'll start seeing the AJ, with the mean streak. Because he has that mean streak. We know what AJ is like. We know all this stay humble, stay hungry stuff is all media. It's all fake. So I think we'll see a bit more of the real AJ, and the gloves are off. I think Ruiz is tailor-made for Wilder. Yeah, so do I. I wouldn't hesitate to pick Wilder over Ruiz. But he does have the tools to beat him, apart from the head movement. You see, that's something we need to look for under Reynoso. I think Reynoso is going to be a good fit for Andy Ruiz, but I 100% agree with you there. You see, what I think is wrong with Ruiz against Wilder is that Ruiz could be able to counterpunch Wilder. I don't doubt that. But if Wilder just keeps it long and counters Ruiz or times him with a right hand, Ruiz's head movement is non-existent. His defense isn't great. He will be a sitting duck for Wilder's right hand. Did they actually film that, did they? They're not going to show that. You heard AJ went mad. Man, Jarrell Miller, he is a fucking scumbag. He's a scumbag ever I seen one. He's going to fight again. I reckon they're going to fight again. Did you see the interview with the barbershop Tay Jones, Trenton Sugar Hill? I didn't, but I heard he got absolutely roasted by the Wilder fanboys. I mean, these guys are just so delusional. It's not even, man, the Wilder fanboys are dangerous. They really are. Some of them are they live in that little dream world. They really do. They live in a little dream world. And they're dangerous, man. Yeah, Char got shot by an inner throne in a calf is what I read. Thought he was fighting. Yeah, Billy. So I literally earlier on in the chat, I read what you posted on Twitter. And it's not, I'm not optimistic we're going to see that fight. Don King, apparently, right? Don King has he doesn't have a venue. So all this crap about it's going to be in Florida, it's going to be here, it's going to be this, he doesn't even have anything, right? All he has is the fights penciled in, allegedly. But that's it. And as I said, you're putting Christopher Lovejoy on this card, so, times are tough. I reckon it might, if they're taking it on the road. They probably would have to. I reckon it'd be an undercard similar to what Ruiz was like. The atmosphere was not quite amazing, but it was actually, I didn't mind the show personally. I thought it was fine. I didn't mind it. Oh, lads, I'm in such good mood today. Seriously, I am just, do you know, right? And I'll read that now in 2 secs, right? Do you know when you're just feeling like, I just don't know, when you just feel really fucking upbeat? You just feel really fucking just upbeat about things. That's just the way I've been feeling about things lately. I just want to check something real quick there, lads, on my phone. Because things have been going fucking swimmingly. 53 in the chat. Lads, if you could, smash the like button on the way in. That's right. Smash the like button on the way in if you could. Big up to everyone. Man, big up to everyone. So where were we? Wilder may break his right hand on it. Yeah. No, I think one shot from Wilder. Might take the head clean off. Might take the head clean off Ruiz. What's to say? Let's get G retard up to. All right. Give me 2 secs. Where was that? Oh, I think maybe Big Dan has already done it. Big Dan has already done my job. I think. Yo, Dan, I think you already did it. Big up. Yeah, I think Big Dan already did my job for me. Big up, Dan. What absolute, like, seriously. If you don't like it, just don't listen. Let's get him up to 20 dislikes. Go for it. Do what you want. Smash the like button, lads, if you haven't already. Smash the like button, of course, if you haven't already. Callum Johnson, Warrington, Liam Smith, all unfortunately too expensive to put out without crowds. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say Liam Smith, to be fair. I wouldn't necessarily say Liam Smith, to be fair. Liam Smith, I'm sure, is not exactly on the top of Eddie Hearn's list. G-Man must have got a sweet price on Bitcoin today. He's buzzing. I actually haven't invested in it yet. I'm still looking at... I'm not 100%, right? I'm still looking at the investments, right? I'm still looking at like Bitcoin and silver. I'm thinking to start off with silver as opposed to Bitcoin. That's just what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking silver as opposed to Bitcoin, for at least for the time being, right? At least for the time being, I'm thinking silver as opposed to Bitcoin. All right. So that's basically what I'm thinking. I'm thinking silver before Bitcoin, but I'm doing my research, man. I'm doing a lot of research on it, and I'm just waiting to see. I'm just waiting to see where we go. But as it stands now, I'm looking at silver as opposed to Bitcoin. But we'll just wait and see about that. We'll just wait and see on that. While there is... Oh, Jesus. I remember the pregnancy comments. That was bizarre. Jesus, it was bizarre. He knows Johnson KOs, but Buatsi won't make it. I'd be picking Buatsi. I'd be picking probably Johnson. I'd be picking Johnson. Get a mixture of all G-Man. Man, you know what, right? Look, they just leave them at it. They don't like it, don't watch. Simple as. They don't like it, don't watch. Simple as. I ain't gonna lose sleep over it. I ain't gonna lose no sleep over it, man. It means sweet F all to me. Where are we at? Oh ho ho. Wilder versus White, battle of the B samples. You don't need no B samples with Jarrell Miller, man. You don't need no B samples with that guy. Where was that? Letitia says White versus Ruiz will be a stormer. I don't know. I favor Ruiz really heavily in that fight. Like really heavily, I'd favor Ruiz in that fight, man. Or Letitia, sorry, apologies. Yeah, I'd favor him extremely heavily in that fight. Extremely heavily. I think that Ruiz would have quite an easy time. Maybe not easy, but I think he'd have a good time. I think he'd have a good time with Donald White. Hearn should get Johnson a crack at Bivol. Bivol as well. When's the last time he fought? Because I didn't realize it was nearly 2 years since Callum Johnson last fought. When's the last time Dimitri Bivol fought? When is the last time Dimitri Bivol fought? Just give me a sec. October 2019 is the last time Dimitri Bivol fought. Okay, so a lot of these guys painfully inactive. That's not good, man. That is not a good thing. Light heavyweight division is looking quality in the UK. Buatsi, Arters, Johnson, Yard, Richards, Burton, Callum Johnson. I reckon our Callum Smith is going to move up and should move up. Needs to move up. Yeah, need to get more matches. Yeah. The UK scene at light heavyweight is just thriving. The only problem is getting these fights, mate. That's the only problem, is just getting these fights, mate. Perhaps, but window liquor. Wilder has a chisel to crack a diamond, Yes, he did in the time, though. So, mate. No, I think his father pass away before he fought Buglioni? I think his father passed away not long before that, if memory serves me correct. Big up to Rob. Fury can win a fight with anyone before he even gets in the ring. He had Klitschko beat before he got in the ring, in my opinion. Warren puts on good shows. They can be a very, very much a hit and a miss. Some of them can be absolutely trash, in my opinion. AJ versus Joyce is an interesting style matchup. Yeah, I see that being a very interesting matchup. 100%. Oh, now, that's a good question, CG. Comey versus Campbell. Richard Comey versus Luke Campbell. I don't know. I don't know. I sit on the fence. If I had to pick, probably Comey. But I had to pick on that. Really interested to see how White reacts to that Povetkin KO. Wouldn't be surprised if he's not the fighter he was. Joe, I'd be amazed. If Dylan White is not getting hurt by fairly innocuous shots now. I really do think it will be. Same with CG. White has a really suspect chin now. He will lose at World Level because of that. I only expect him to be Povetkin because Povetkin's an OAP. I agree with you on that 100%. I think that too now, to be honest with you. You'd like to see Burton versus Yard. I think Burton at this minute in time would be perfect for Yard. Tall, rangy, but I'm sure Yard would be able. That'd be a good. I have a video on Yard coming tomorrow actually for you guys, so I'll leave it till then. Yeah, I agree with you there, Joe. That's my immediate prediction would be Comey. I think Comey is he's a good fighter, Richard Comey, very good. But Richard Comey is to get past Martinez first. That guy got robbed versus Rolo Rameo last year. Yeah, no, I reckon Comey will get by him, personally. Trouble is, these fighters get signed, then parked up as they aren't lucrative as other fighters. Doesn't mean they're bad boxers, just means they're not marketable. And that's one of the worst things about boxing. That's one thing about this sport that I will honestly say I hate, is that you have really good fighters, but they're just not marketable. They're just maybe not outgoing. They're a little bit quieter. They just don't have that personality. They're not loud. They're not abrasive, and they just don't get the same opportunity. It's sad when you see that. I'll tell you one thing, right? It's like that in all aspects of life. I mean, if you think of it like this, right? Like I've had this experience happen to me a few times where, like, if you met me in real life, you'd know that I'm not necessarily like I'd be outgoing to an extent, but I'm not loud or abrasive or anything like that. I wouldn't be the quietest, but I'm definitely not the loudest. I'll definitely have a chat with you, but I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be bragging around. I'm not like that. But I'll definitely be someone who would be good at building your confidence and stuff like that. Like I'm always there. I'm a good lad. I like to me toot my own horn, but I think I'm a good lad. You would have some people look at you and be like, "Yeah, you're cool," but that lad over there, Jesus, like he's real loud. He's talking about this, and he's like, "Yeah, you understand? Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, he's talking absolute shit. He's not. What he's saying is irrelevant." Yeah, but he's loud. He's abrasive. You see that way, like where you could have someone who's just an idiot, but they're just loud, so people just flock to them, even though what they're doing is nothing really. But it's just the way it is. It's the way life is. It's the way boxing and life is. Silver is a great investment. Bitcoin is still good. I think it'll double in price over the next 2 years. Myself, other cryptocurrencies such as Tron, XRP, etc., may have bigger upsides. But currently, silver is the one I'm looking at now. I'm looking at some of Richard Dwyer's videos on silver and our Bitcoin and stuff like that. And I'm just looking to see what the best websites are for doing the investments on, because that's something I'm definitely going to be doing. 100%. I'm planning ahead. So investments in like silver and Bitcoin, that's coming for me anyway, 100%. So it's just a case of where do we go from there? Like, it's just a case of where do we go from there, basically, with the investments. But 100%, that's something I am looking at doing, is investing in gold and silver and stuff like that. Definitely. Yeah, that was inside 3 years was kind of my point. You'd like to see. Oh yeah, I thought you said it was only recent, but yeah, no. I favor Smith Jr. in that fight, man. Like, I've been real impressed with how Joe Smith Jr. has been coming along. He's come on leaps and bounds. He's come on leaps and bounds in the last few years. I'm real impressed with Joe Smith Jr. Real impressed with Joe Smith. Burton could beat Yard. Yard is not as good as the hype train behind him. I still think Yard is quite good. I think he just needs to change up the scenery. I think he needs to change the scenery, definitely. I think Yard is a good fighter, but he just needs to make some improvements and just move with the times. Am I the only box fan who prefers fighters to shut the fuck up and get on with the job rather than talk a load of bollocks? Sometimes the trash talking can be fun, right? Sometimes the trash talking, I listen to it and just like, it's okay. It's okay. But other times it's just like, come on, let's get a move on with this. Let's get these fights made, etc., etc., and let's just see the best fight the best. You know, who needs all this trash talking? Sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's just annoying. But like, some fighters might not be good fighters. They'll make a career out of it, though. They'll make a career out of it. You just describe Wilder, loud and stupid with a lot of followers. Yeah. Yeah. Literally. And do you know what the odd thing is? I've known people like that, like Deontay Wilder, and no, they've not been liking them in boxers, but like, they've just been loud. That's all they are. They're just loud. They just bark louder, but what they're saying is just so irrelevant. But they just have a louder bark, so therefore people will listen to them and they get people behind them. But when you actually break it down and look at it, and you look at the person, you're just like, what is actually there? You know, when you look past the loudness and the whole, yeah, you understand, cupcake, yeah. When you look past that, what is it? It's just, what is he nice? Is he funny? He's not funny. Is he cool? Is he kind? Is he? There's nothing there. So, but yeah, people are just enthralled, and they're just enthralled by it. Ah, no, don't do this. I thought my mouse was stopping. Oh, your mouse stopped there for a sec. That WTF video on Kell Brook was class. When's the next one coming out? Probably next week. I usually record them on a Sunday, but I spend about a week doing a bit of research onto the background and, you know, getting the edit and all. I reckon next week. It's gonna be a retired fighter. I pick and choose who I'm gonna do it on. And I was going back and forth who I was thinking of doing. I had an idea in my head, but the next one's gonna be next week, probably. Not this week, next week. Because I've already recorded a couple of videos for tomorrow. There's some more recording to do. And none of them are WTF. They take a long time to do because I have to get the few clips and pictures I want to put in. I have to edit them down, to record it, take breaks recording. I have to edit that down, and then I have to upload it. So it takes a long time to do. So I won't be doing it today. And I haven't done it. Well, I know a lot about the fight I'm going to do anyway, but I just want to sharpen the senses and it's more so kind of, and you know, these are all downfall stories. None of them are ever going to be good, but in terms of what's happened, so they're all downfall stories. So I just want to basically just confirm a few things that I already know, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right, because I like to have some degree of, I want to make sure that what I'm talking about, it actually happened when it happened, as opposed to, you know, getting dates and stuff like that wrong. Like, that's why I made sure that my Kell Brook one was pretty bulletproof with the dates and stuff like that. So I made sure it was good like that. Give me a sec there. Give me a 2 secs there. Make sure that that's good. Yeah, it's perfect. Just wanted to make sure that was all good. So yeah, probably next week, bro. Probably next week. Yeah, Bivol Smith fight wasn't a million years ago, but I rate Smith would pick him again. Really? Would you pick him against Bivol in a rematch? Gee, he said that Bivol was just, I think he really didn't feel confident to let his hands go, he said, or something to that effect. But he was good again. He was brilliant against, what's the guy's name? What was the guy's name? Hart, Jesse Hart. He was brilliant against him. WTF happened to Adrian Broner? Not next, but that's definitely gonna come. That's definitely gonna come. Adrian Broner be a fighter I do. Definitely, amongst others. But no, I'm doing a retired fighter. I think the last few fighters I've had have been all fighters currently active, so we'll do a retired one. While their fans are flat earthers of boxing. Yeah, I don't buy the flat earth theory at all. I have looked at it. I don't buy it. Don't buy it at all. Yo, big up to Reese. Yo, G-Man, big up. But yeah, no, the flat earth I don't buy. 4 dream fights for UK fighters in 2021. AJ Fury, Taylor versus Ramirez, Warrington versus Zoo, probably Billy Joe versus Canelo. Maybe I give Billy Joe a better chance than others. I still think Canelo would win, but we'll see how Billy Joe does. Best investment you can make is in your financial education. Good first move, G. Yeah, well, I'm 27. God knows what's coming up. God knows what's going to happen. So I'm looking ahead, man. I'm looking at, because obviously, your boy will eventually want to start a family. I want to make sure I'm set up for all that, because the job I'm in pays the bills, but I don't want to do that forever. I obviously want to turn YouTube into something. So we'll see how that goes, or get something off the back of it. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, 100%. The investments is going to be 100% happening. 100%. Yo, big up Right Hook Boxing. Congrats on hitting 2K. Big up to you, man. If you haven't seen Right Hook Boxing, go and check out his channel. Very good channel. Big up to him. 2K subs. Big up. 3K be around the corner. AJ versus Fury. Fury versus AJ. You think Bertabiev beats Bivol? Yeah, I would favor him now. The size advantage. Bivol's not a big guy, but I would favor him just on size. Billy Joe is finally staying in the gym and staying in shape. I seen that. Took him long enough to figure it out. Yeah, he is staying in the gym, which I have seen that, and it is looking good. So fingers crossed that maybe he knows himself that he's effed up. Maybe that Canelo, maybe not getting the Canelo fight was the wake up call he needed. Maybe it was like, you know what, I could have had a big payday and I effed it up by not staying in shape. Maybe it's a case of right now I'm going to be prepared for all opportunities. Anytime, bro, anytime. But maybe I'm sure he's thinking maybe he's prepared for all opportunities. So fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Who do I think wins out of Bivol versus Beterbiev? I would favor Beterbiev, as CG says, with just sheer strength. That's what I think as well. Just sheer strength. Can't wait for Lopez to fight again. Would love to see Lopez for Haney matchup. I'd favor Lopez over Devin Haney very strongly. Definitely every time. I'd favor Teofimo Lopez to beat Devin Haney. Devin Haney's all right, but yeah, as you say, Lopez is more proven. I think just in every aspect, I'd pick Teofimo Lopez over Devin Haney. I would. Lads, we got 55 in the chat. If you could, while you're here, please smash the like button if you haven't already. 55 in the chat. Yo, big up. Big up to your boy. Like I said, your boy's in a good mood. Real good mood. Do you think Ty Mbu is a character, or is he just drunk in his unsettling videos? I watched his live stream, his latest live stream. Man. When I watched his latest live stream, right? I was just kind of, I didn't watch the whole thing. I was just kind of flicking through and from it. But man, he was getting like, I'd say he got at least, 400 quid worth of super chats, maybe more. There was like 3 or 4 people who donated like £100. And I'm thinking, man, one live stream, and he's like, that's pocket money. People really, really like Ty FL. I think some of it, I think he is a bit of a character. I don't, it's hard to say. Ty Boot, I mean, he really don't like Coogan. He loves trolling Coogan. Smith beats Yard, maybe stops him. Controversial opinion. Controversial opinion. I pick Yard over Callum Smith. Controversial. Beterbiev will probably move to cruiser soon. He fought heavy in the amateurs. Yeah, he fought Usyk in the amateurs. I wouldn't be shocked if he moves to cruiser soon. I really do. I wouldn't be shocked if he moves to cruiser soon. Coogan is very thrownable. Is your deck causing you sleepless nights? I had to get that in there. Is your deck causing you sleepless nights? Oh, man. Is your deck causing you sleepless nights? KO it with deck. What was it? KO deck. I just fast forward it now. I just double click on my iPhone. I can't watch it. Is your deck causing you sleepless nights? No. Tyen got over the ground. That's crazy. People are just chucking the money at Tyen boot. That is crazy, man. Because I was clicking through it, and you know the way like super chats, like when you get them, it stays on the screen for a little bit, depending on how much it is. And I was looking at it, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, how? I was like, these are chucking the money at the lad. Yeah, I seen that. What's this insane beef between Tebert and Fearon about? I don't know, man. I seen a few things. I think Rob was saying this about Spencer. Spencer was saying this. It's interesting. I've just been watching it and just been like, what the hell? I just watching it and been like, what the hell? What the hell? Hot take. No. The laughing egg. I don't think Wadley beats Dylan White. I think Wadley is a thing. Is Tebert versus fair on pay-per-view or subscription based only? Oh Jesus, man. God only knows, man. God only knows. What is up with these trolls tonight? G-Man has a small pack. What is up with these? Like, maybe it's because I went early in the day. What is up with these little you-know-whats in the chat? I mean, my God, like, I think there was about, like, 5 or 6. Like, I never tend to get these in either. Like, as in, like, I never, like, you see my streams, like, past streams. They're always actually quite good in terms of people. Like, there never is anyone who's really, like, you know, annoying in it. But, Jesus, I've been just getting these, like, left, right, and center today. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where. They're all just flocking to your boy's channel for some reason. But let's see. Let's try and see what we'll do here. Where is that comment? Probably gone. Is that a pigeon? Yeah, looks that way. Going up in the world. I've always been quite lucky on my channel that I've never really had any major issues, like with trolls or anything like that. But obviously, I'm getting bigger now, so it can come. But look, they are what they are, man. They're nobodies. They're nobodies. They're nobodies. So just don't bother me. Where was that? Where was that? Tebert versus what's all that about? Oh man, it's just. I was just looking at it, I was just like, what the hell? There was like accusations being made and shit like that. I think I did right hook because there was one person earlier in the chat who I obviously pissed off. And I don't know why. I think a few others timed him out as well. He was having a go at others. He was taking digs at others. And he was like, I'm going to spam you dislike button and all that because I never get many dislikes. I think this has like 8 dislikes. So I think Head the Ball just spammed it. Like, seriously. Like, I mean, what the hell? Like, as if I give a shit, but what the hell? Like, seriously. Sad little lives. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Some people just like that. Some people are just like that, man. It happens. Takes a picture of himself but calls himself Errol Spence. I'm wondering if anyone from Patreon, Hatman's Patreon, remember the Errol Spence who used to be on Hatman's Patreon, used to troll this shit. He was weird. He was weird. Do you think Vodcek will stay retired? Yeah, I do. I can't see him coming back. I don't think he's coming back at all. What's next for Jan Pascal? I thought he would fight during the pandemic on one of the PBC cards. No, and yeah, CG. Sorry, but CG said it there. Same person. I think he used his real picture though, from what I remember. CG. It's been a while since he was on Patreon. I think he actually used his real picture. But who knows? Who knows? But you know, you get in the trolls. I find it ironic that I get every time I do a Wilder video, I always get like 1 or 2 trolls pop up in the chat. And obviously, that what was the guy's name? Yak Face or something like that. I mean, like obviously he got pissed off because we were talking about something that he didn't know nothing about. Is what it is. Leave him at it. The more members you get, the harder the chat will be control. That's where I need Dan. Dan's a good moderator. I need to keep Dan in the chat. If Big Dan's in here, he's a good moderator because I know Dan was timing a few guys out. That's why I need Dan in these chats. That's why I have him with the screw on it or the thing. You know, he's a good moderator. So 59 in the chat, lads. If you could, smash the like button. If you could. Chris Andre spoke a bit about Tepe. I seen Chris Andre's video. Big up to Chris Andre. Excellent YouTube channel, Chris Andre. And it didn't sound good. Fearing is good friends with Tunde, so maybe start there. I think originally it had something to do with that, right? But if you actually go on it, right, and read some of the allegations that are being thrown around, I'm not gonna speak too much about them here. It's quite serious allegations. I would have a read of some of the allegations. There's something. I don't think it's just there's something seriously amiss there. I think both guys are not too pleased with one another. They're not too pleased with one another. Yo, big up to Tony every single time, man. I hope you're having a good day, mate. I hope you're having a good day. And Darren, sorry late to the party. The party's going to go on a little bit longer, so have no worry about that. Have no worry about that, man. The party's going to go on. Don't stress yourself. Trolls come with success. Yeah. That's one thing I've learned about having a YouTube channel. And you know what else I've learned about having a YouTube channel is that you are going to piss people off even if you don't even do anything to piss them off, you'll piss people off. Like I've told you before, I didn't even say shit about Niall Kennedy. I just said he'd lose his fight against Babbage. And of course, messages from him calling me a little shit and this, that, and the other. I'm like, yo, fuck you. I just said you'd lose. I didn't say it I didn't say you're shit or anything like that. I just said you'd lose. So you're always going to piss people off. But is what it is. Comes with the territory. I'd rather be who was it? Was it Bob Marley said it? I'd rather be hated for being me than be loved for being fake. And I'm exactly like that. You know, I would rather someone call me a wanker, but it be my opinion. And I'm sticking with my opinion, then someone turn around and be like, yo, G, I like you because you agree with me on this, and I don't agree with you. Nah, man. I go along with what I think. So, it's my opinion. Where was that comment? How much do I know about Joby Clayton, the man alongside? I don't really know much about him, mate, to be honest with you. I haven't really heard of him. The man alongside Adrian Fernandez, he brought in for Ruiz fight. I think he's been part of AJ's training team, but he hasn't seen much on screen. I think that AJ should just stick with Fernandez and get rid of Rob McCracken. I think that Fernandez seems like the better fit altogether. LOL at Niall Kennedy. Watching the commentary on the zone of the Campbell Garcia fight made me miss Sky. It was so amateur. Yeah, they definitely need to improve. Definitely. Big up to Tony. Much respect to Gman in the chat. Thank you all for the great conversation. Snowing. Got to chop some wood later. Has anyone ever chopped wood in the chat? It is good fun. You want to take Kennedy's head off for that? Man. I'm over it. I take the odd little dig here and there, but I'm over it, man. It means nothing. You've got that much time on your hands to message a YouTuber for saying you'd lose a fight. I mean, really. It doesn't bother me. Remember Bradley Bodnikov? That was great. What a fight. Yeah, that was a hell of a fight, man. I love that fight. I go watch that fight over and over again. Bradley was slurring his speech for weeks after that fight. If it was true, Spencer was out of order, but I know this Robert is pissing a few boxing people off lately. I mean, you want to have proof if you're going to throw on allegations like that's what I will say. I don't know. Look, I wasn't there. I don't know. I've just read comments. I've read the tweets. Boy, it's bizarre. But Rob's been going in on people lately. He went in on Michelle Joy Phelps over some of the things she's been alleged to be up to. It's been fun, man. It's been fun to read, but Rob interviews these people. So if I know he's probably not going to interview Spencer or Tunde, but he just wants to. If I was him, I'd be just that. What he's alleged Spencer said was way out of order. Way out of order. What he's alleged to have said. But Rob has to keep that professional look about him as well. Like, you shouldn't be. It's just, I don't know. I mean, there's a fine line, I think. Najee, look at Clayton, Instagram, all partners respect him, and he's Ben Witter's GB, Olympic GB. I've heard of Ben Witter, trainer. I'll definitely have to have a look at him then. I'll definitely have to have a look at him. There's a lot of trainers on Instagram that I look up. A lot of them, because a lot of them are quite good. Fantasy matchup: Joe Frazier versus Holyfield. Big Frazier fan, but I think Holyfield takes it on points. I'd agree with you on that. I'd agree with you 100% on that. 100% I'd agree with you on that. Didn't Wilder retire? Abdub? No, he's just he speaks when he wants to, but he's not retired. Definitely not. So we'll see what happens with Deontay Wilder. Rob trying to get his views up. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Danny asks, nice work, G-Man. What's your top 5 fights for 2021? Now, when you say top 5 fights, are we talking about fights that could potentially happen? If we're talking about fights that potentially happen, you got to have number 1, AJ versus Fury. Number 2, Spence Crawford. Number 3, Ioka versus the winner of Estrada versus Gonzalez. And then number 4, Estrada versus Gonzalez. I'm trying to think who I have number 5. I think who I'd have at number 5 if I could get it. If it get it, Charlo versus Canelo, if it could happen. Now, they're just, some of them are fantasy fights, but definitely I want to see Ioka versus the winner of Estrada versus, I lost it, Gonzalez. Completely lost that one. Jesus. Darren says, you may have mentioned this earlier, but if you see Manuel Char's Instagram post, no, I read the statement out, bro. I did. Well, it's Don King. I mean, at this stage, what do you expect? I mean, it's just mental. As long as we get to see one shot himself, Christopher Lovejoy, I'm all G. Christopher One Shot Lovejoy. Oh my God. Big up to Will. Keeping up with the chat for once, G-Man. Yeah, I actually am. I'm normally terrible with keeping up with the chat. I normally am like, the chat's like God knows how long, and there it is there. It's been on the screen for ages. But big up. Are you looking forward to potentially seeing you back on Sky Sport? His action-packed fights are always good to watch. I would probably say, right, as a person, Eubank wouldn't be my cup of tea as a person necessarily, right? But in terms of him as an actual fighter, I love watching him. And I'll watch him on Sky, no problem. If he's fighting with Sauerland, don't really put shows on any other platforms. Like, I know Eddie Hearn and Kella tend to have a good relationship, because if you remember back to when boxing in Germany was a bit bigger than it was, and the Sauerlands were the guys in Germany, a lot of the time you would have matchroom fighters go over and fight in the Sauerland shows. And a lot of the time, actually, to be fair, if you think about it right like this, a lot of times it was. the actual match fighter going to Germany, if you think about it like that, because it was Abraham, it was Paul Smith, it was Abraham, Paul Smith, was both fights from Germany. Martin Murray fights Sturm in Germany. I think Darren Barker fought in Germany. Who else? Murray fought in Germany. There was a good few in Germany, and they all were in Germany. I know Nathan Cleverly. Do you remember the Nathan Cleverly Jurgen Bramer fight? That was a weird fight. Do you remember that? What did Spencer say? I can't go on Rob's Terbert's page and read it. They're allegations, and I'm not going to talk, but they're allegations, mate. They really are just allegations. Rob Terbert's been on a. He's been tweeting a lot lately about things. You just, as I say, you want to make sure you have evidence back up what he's saying, because you could get sued real quick. Craig Richards versus Anthony Yarde. Who do you have? Richards improved a hell of a lot. Richards is such an improved fighter. He really is. Craig Spider Richards versus Anthony Yarde. I would take Anthony Yarde. Just. I know Richards can get a bit lazy in fights sometimes. But he's improved a lot, and he looks very good at light heavyweight, definitely. Heard Eubank Jr. might fight Murata for the 160-pound strap. What do you think of that? I reckon they'll do that in Japan. I would favor probably Murata in that fight. If I'm 100% honest and frank, I would favor Murata. It's more down to the activity of Eubank. If it's in Japan, he's the home fighter. He's a star over there. Gmat, what do you think is next for the World Boxing Super Series? Well, hopefully they do another series. I'd love it if they done a super flyweight series of it. I'd love that. I don't know what division they're going to do next. I really don't. Hopefully they do a super flyweight. But they will do under a season. CG, I probably did, to be fair. Sorry about that, man. That I missed the fantasy fight. Hagler versus Ggg. I would go with Hagler, man. I think he'd be able to take Gg's power. I think he is just Hagler is just ferocious. Not ferocious puncher. I mean, people look at the Hearns fight and think that was Hagler. Hagler was more like blue collar kind of fighter. He reminds me of Styles. Who would he remind me of today? A little bit of Spence when he's like throwing a lot of body shots, kind of things like that. But man, Hagler was unreal. One of the best at 160. Do I think Anthony Yarde beats any of the champions in light heavy? No. Not Beterbiev right now. Not Bivol. And I think Joe Smith Jr. is going to win his fight. So I'd make Joe Smith Jr. a heavy favorite over Anthony Yarde. Let's see how the Twitter war plays out. Kind of fuck all to do with boxing. Hey, man, do you remember during the lockdown, the first lockdown, when there was no boxing and we were literally... that bloody Anthony Fowler versus O'Hara beef was the flipping best thing that was happening during the time. That's how starved the boxing we were. There was absolutely nothing going on with boxing back then. Do you remember that? It was crazy. There was absolutely nothing going on with boxing back then. That's how bad it was. That Anthony Fowler and thing was the probably best that we could get back then. What does right hook? I like the Sauerlands. Very impressed with the World Boxing Super Series. Kella is just funny. And Kella plays the character well. You know, I say character. It's just he embraces like the comments, the cocaine comments and all that. Like Kella just embraces it. He's a real funny guy. Real funny guy. Kella is. I rate Ggg highly, but think Hagler stops him, especially over 15 rounds. Yeah, he gets hit too much. I see it going similar to Mabu War. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'd be saying if it was 15 rounds, oh, Jesus. Imagine the guys doing 15 rounds today. Yo, big up to Right Hook. He's just started watching Oz, the TV series. Good stream, man. Big up to Right Hook. Again, congratulations on 2K. If you haven't already, go over and check out Right Hook's channel. I'm probably going to be finishing up in a bit. And what I'm going to do is once I finish up here, I'm going to leave a link to Ade's stream because I think Ade is streaming at about 7:30. So I'm probably going to leave just before that, give you a link to his stream. As if he's new. We'll keep going. We'll keep going till then. So we keep going through the comments. And we keep trying. I think we were cool with the trolls now. I think the few people who were trolling big time in here are gone. That was just silly. Jesus Christ. That was just ridiculous. Like people like trying to spam dislikes and all that jazz. It was just bullshit. Yeah, we spoke about the beef with Rob and Spencer. That was, I think it's still going on, to be fair. I think they're still talking about it, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Paulo Taylor, good times. Good times. Man, I'm not much of a TV guy. I'm honestly not much of a TV guy. I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of movies, but I don't tend to watch a lot of TV. G-Man, who do you think out of this generation do you think has the chance of becoming an all-time great? Now, I'm going to say, when you say this generation, you're not talking about Canelo and guys like that. Out of this generation of fighters over the last 5 years, I'm going to say, who do I think? Maybe Kazuto Ioka and Teofimo Lopez. That's a bold claim, Teofimo, but I might say him. I'm really impressed with Teofimo Lopez, seriously. Where do I have a look at the comments for Rob versus Spencer? On Twitter, man. On Twitter. What's the future for Sky with the Zone coming to these shores? I see Sky going and starting to work with other promoters again. That's literally what I see coming. I see Sky going down the road of maybe working with like Dave Colwell, Frank Warren, Frank Maloney, if he's still knocking around with shows. That's basically what I see happening. I can't see Eddie Hearn keeping Sky going, keeping it with Sky. I reckon he's going to move on and do his own thing. Yeah, look, they're prepared to move to 168 for Canelo. I mean, there you go. I want to see that fight. 100% want to see that fight. Man, big up to Helen every time. Helen every time. Good evening. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. You always got to get that in there, lads. Always got to get that in there. Hashtag the G-Man's Rocks movement. G-Man's Rocks. Get your boy to the UK shores. Get him interviewing some guys. Some Sky shows, MTK shows. Get him in there. Get him in as well. Get some more in. Obviously, I'd love to get some interviews with some trainers as well, but we're seeing how it goes. We're taking our time. But as I said, I've been just in such good mood lately, like irrespective of things. Man, I've been in such good form lately. Joe thinks Teofimo will struggle lightweight. I reckon he will. I reckon another 2 fights and he's moving up. Seriously, he might have beaten. I reckon if he made the weight easier, he would have beaten. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why he kind of needed a 12-round Joe to come back. I suspect that he's at his wit's end, I reckon, with lightweight. Billy Joe training hard. Be interesting to see, man. Grab an interview with Billy Joe. There we go. We grab an interview with Billy Joe, maybe. Who knows? I fucking love that. Same. In your humble opinion, who's the best rising prospect or contender in the heavyweight division right now? I like Victor Vickhurst is up and coming. He's quite good. Who else do we look at? I'm definitely liking Hrgovic. There's a few in the heavyweight division I'm looking at who are up and coming. There's a few I'm keeping my eye on. I think probably the one I'm most intrigued at is Jordan Anderson. I think he is going to be a serious problem. G-Man, random question. Why is your channel called G-Man? Okay, so basically, when I was starting out, I needed to name the channel, right? And I was just thinking I wanted something boxing related. And when I was in one of my original amateur gyms, I went to bar. This was like 20. So I remember being like called to the gym and they called me by my name and they said, you go and spar. Got some major lag there. What the hell? Major lag went on there. Sorry about that, bro. Got some major lag. I hope that's okay because I could just notice everything just kind of started lagging. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, basically it was called for a spar, and they were like, "Yo, here comes the G-man." And since then, they just called me in the gym, and it just stuck. So I said, "May as well. It's part of boxing. I've been called that before, so that's what I'm going to stick with." So I just stuck with G-man. If I could, I would probably change the name of the channel to G-Man Talks Boxing as opposed to just G-Man Boxing. But it is what it is. People know what is G-Man Boxing now. But if I wanted to, I would change it. I would maybe change the G-Man Talks Boxing. I'm sure that's okay now, rather than that. And Coyote, appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you. Did we figure out where Wilder's been? Hiding somewhere, hiding under a rock, afraid of Tyson Fury, maybe afraid of the rematch. Got your interview at the MTK gym. I will get my interviews at the MTK gym, man. I will. When they let us travel freely, I am going to the UK definitely to get some of these shows, man. I want to get more of these. I like doing the interviews over StreamYard like I did with Jay Harris. I like the face-to-face as well. You need to take the S off G-Man's rocks. Too many of us think it's G-Man's. No, man, we're keeping the S. I'll fucking correct him if I have to. I'll fucking keep him the G-Man's rocks, man. That's staying. Try and sort it out for you, man. Big up. Man, big up. I remember Coach, I always get his name wrong. I'm actually going to go and make sure I don't get the name wrong because I always get his name wrong. Coach Asgard. I think it is. I always get his name wrong, but big up to him. He's reached out to me a few times on Twitter about fighters. He'd be, saying if I can get you in contact with them. So big up to him. Big up to all the guys in MTK. They're a good bunch of lads. They really are. What are we at now? Lads, right? 56 in the chat. As I said, if you haven't already, go and smash the like button. I'm going to leave something in the chat for you. Actually, I'm going to leave two things in the chat. Well, actually, I'm going to leave one. I'm going to leave one for now, right? So I'm going to be calling it quits here, right? But I'm going to go and lock into Adeola Depot's live stream because he's live now. So if you haven't, just make sure. There we go. Link's there. Link is in the chat, lads. If you haven't, of course, go over onto Ade's stream. Big up to everyone in the chat. Lads, I'm going to leave it here. Got videos from me tomorrow, as always, and I'll do another stream during the week. For now, lads, I'm calling it. Big up to everyone in the chat. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Darren, Coyote, Devin Henney beats them at 135. We shall see, man. We shall see. Big up to CG. Big up to all the guys. Big up to Kenny. Shout out from Scotland. G-Man's rocks. I think Edgar is looking serious. First round knockout king. But lads, for now, I'll talk to you. Head over to Ade's stream. I'll be over there. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. Lads, I'll talk to you. You'll see me tomorrow. I got videos planned. Peace.